Brr, it's cold out here. Whew. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are about to go and try and crank up the Monster Mower. I am not super confident in it because I've been having a weird battery issue. I'm pretty sure mine is shot, but you never know. Let's see if she cranks. Of course, Farmall H to the rescue. Oops, he's not gonna like that. I killed it. I like where it is. It's gonna be a lawn ornament from now on. After enough shenanigans with RC cars and trying to get the stupid Monster Mower to crank, I know what we're gonna do tonight. What are we doing?
Walking? Nah, we're working on your front axle.
We're finally fixing the front axle that I bent like 2 years ago, or 3, and have been way too lazy to fix. But it should be pretty easy, so let's go grab the Monster Mower and come in here and get started. Let's go. Why the front axle's bent is I was up at the old Threshers reunion in Denton, North Carolina. My battery, of course, died on me because, you know, I keep really reliable batteries with this thing. So I tried calling my friend Ty to come and give me a jump, and well, he wouldn't answer his phone. So I called Mr. Hall to see if he would come give me a jump, and he wouldn't answer his phone. So I proceeded to call them both like 15 times in a row, and no one would answer me. So I thought to myself, what's the next logical thing I could do? Well, I decided pushing it down a hill, jumping on it, and then throwing it in gear, pop the clutch would start it. Well, the problem with the Monster Mower, if you don't know, yeah, if you pull up on the steering, it falls out. And then that does not give you the ability to steer anymore. Go figure. I sort of had a mid-panic thing when I couldn't steer it while I was driving down a hill uncontrollably, and I sort of might have accidentally veered into a tree. And I really didn't hit the tree going that fast, but it was a small bump, not even enough to like throw me forward, but it was enough to bend my axle. This is a nice straight axle, makes a nice 90-degree angle right here. This is a nice bent axle. It goes back. It really doesn't affect the driving too much on it. Everything works the way it should-ish, but it just looks bad. So we're going to fix it. Should be pretty easy. All we really have to do is take the tires off, disconnect the steering, pull the spindles out, take this one bolt out, it will slide right out, then we'll be able to take it over to our press it back flat, and then just reassemble. So shouldn't be too much work. Let's get started. So we just got the front axle out. It is really, really, really easy to take on and off. That only took us, what, 10 minutes? If that? Now you can get a better idea for how bent this axle actually is. I did a number on it. See, it's straight, straight, straight. Oh, what's this? Bent, bent, bent.
Oh, it's straight from here to here and it's straight from there to there. It's just bent in the middle.
Also, it looks like my axle's faded a bit.
Just a bit.
Stock color? Not stock color. After seeing the amount of damage done to this thing, we are not confident that it will bend back as easy as we originally thought. We're going to try bending it back and getting it better than it was, but we might be rebuilding a new axle.
That helped a lot.
Go another pump or two past. That's straight. That's past. The reason why we're pumping it flat and then going 1 or 2 pumps past is because metal has a memory. And if we don't go past it, it'll actually just flex right back into its original position. That's a lot better than what it was.
That's dog near dead straight.
Actually, this side right here does a little wiggle to it, but it's not bad. There's a twist in it now.
Let me hit that with a hammer.
It comes up. See the bend that way? I vote to build a new axle in the future. See, in a perfect world, where there wouldn't be light through the side.
But that's not bad. That's a lot better than we were.
Still needs some work. When I bent it, not only did it push the axle back and out, it actually pushed it up a little bit too. So now we're gonna try and flatten it. Flat.
Now I gotta beat that back flat.
Hey! You're chipping the paint.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about my paint. So if you take a look and follow this line, see how it follows, and then it starts to get further away? That's not what we're looking for. Flat. I just worry about us tearing the other side where we'll have to weld the back of it.
I'm not planning on going that much. If it's a little off, I can live with it.
Do you want to tell us about this press real quick?
I can. I made that press when I was 15. I had just gotten a welder and learned how to weld. I saw one at an auto parts. They wanted like $200 for it. So I walked in with a pencil and paper and said, "Do you mind if I draw that thing and measure it?" And they looked at me kind of funny and said, "Well, no, I don't guess so." So I drew it all out and measured everything and came home with my paperwork and then went to the local machine shop and told him the metal I needed. And the old man in the machine shop, Barnett's machine shop, was been in business probably 50 years. He took a liking to me. He sold me all the metal in that press for $37, cut it to size for nothing. So then I went home and I was going to drill all the holes through so for this thing could go up and down. And I marked them all out, center punched them, and I drilled one side, but as soon as my drill would hit the other side, it would walk because the inside of a channel is not flat, they're tapered. And so every time I tried to do it, my bit would walk even though I was on a 6-foot drill press. I went back to Ned Burnett's, Sid Burnett, Ned Burnett's machine shop and asked him what we could do. Was there a way to do that? And he looked at me and grinned and said, "Come on out here with them." And the machine shop had been built around 1900, 1920. Everything was on flat belts. Everything was with a big line shaft in the ceiling. All the hundreds of belts flopping everywhere as things worked. Old machinery. He had a drill press in there that was probably 8 feet high. He took the pieces, he put a drill bit in. He went through the same hole I was drilling, went to the other side. The drill bit did not walk, went straight through the other side. I was sitting there bug-eyed, To this day, I don't know how he did the drill bit. I don't know how he sharpened it, what he did different. It did not walk. He drilled all the holes for me. I was flabbergasted, asked him what I owed him. He said, nothing, said glad to help. So then I was able to take it home and get the rest of the scrap metal that I had metals laying scrap, and I welded it all up. And the big trick I knew was to make sure it was square, because I'd seen one or two of these that people made and they didn't get them square and they didn't put pressure on them and they would twist. And I knew that if it was good and square, it would not twist. So I was really careful with welding and setting and jigging until I got it all good and square and welded up. And I've used this press now since I was 15 and I'm 67. Still use it a lot. I like it, all I needed. I got $37 in it and a little bit of welding time.
It's a really good press. We use it a lot.
I say put her in.
So while he was stealing my work, I figure I'll show you something sketchy that we did. If you've seen the Monster Mower walk around video, I told you that we welded the lugs onto the spindles. I'm honestly surprised all of them are still here. Half of them aren't welded on square and are bent or whatever, but my tire's still attached, so I'm not going to complain. I've also done wheelies with it and haven't broke them off yet, but I have a feeling one day we might. Till that day comes, I'm gonna leave it and not touch it. The spindle was originally a 4.5 on 5, but the wheels that we use are 5.5 on 5. So what we did is we took these little chunks of metal and welded the ears out. That way we could get our bolt hole pattern to 5.5 on 5. Well, somehow we created a super metal when we did that, because we tried to drill it many different ways. We even had this thing heated up with a torch glowing cherry red trying to drill, and all we did was destroy our drill bit. It was the most ridiculous stuff that we've ever seen, so what we did is decide to weld them on. I don't ever suggest welding your lug bolts on. With the Monster stretch mower, we did change this design to where it is a lot stronger and a lot less sketchy. And eventually we might do it with this also, but until these really give me headache, I'm just gonna leave them because it's rather unique. Back to the time lapse. I wonder who put all these greasy rags where my butt goes. Hit me. You ain't got the nerve. Come on, hit me. Hit me. You ain't got the nerve. You won't do it. It's gonna do it. He was gonna hit me with the car. I'm doing today's outro on top of a Fairbanks Morse 6-horse that we're turning into a hit and miss. Look forward to some videos with this thing because we're actually machining the piston out of a cast iron blank for this thing. It's kind of cool, and I'll take you guys along for the ride with that one also. But in the meantime, if you like today's video, give me a thumbs up. If you like my channel, subscribe. Check out all my other awesome build series, such as restoring my Farmall H or building the stretch lifted lawnmower. That's all I got for you for tonight. So I'll see you guys next time. Later.